Tanisha Coffey, take it away. I've got my pen and paper ready to take some great notes. You are up, girl.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So today, yes, we are talking about stealing time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Now, I will say that great minds do think alike, because a lot of what Linda was saying is similar to how I kind of think about it, how I work with my clients when I'm helping them to, figure out how to kind of work their way through things. I tend to take things from a very strategic standpoint. So you'll hear some similar things as to what Linda said, but hopefully I can give you some additional nuggets that help you to execute it in a slightly different way than what she's talking about. Her document is a wonderful add. It'll be a wonderful combination with what I'm sharing with you today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There you go. Can everybody see that okay?
Yes, yes.
All right. Move my face out the way. All right. So Linda told you guys a little bit about me. My focus is on when you are stealing time, the whole point of it, because you're in business to make money. So the whole point when you're trying to steal time is so you can earn more, but you're working less in order to do it. All right. So just to tell you a little bit more about me, I have been an entrepreneur for 18 years. I'm a business and marketing strategist for entrepreneurs and small business owners. I'm a 3-time author, including 1 best-selling book, which happens to be with Miss Linda Sunshine West, the Fearless Entrepreneurs. I'm also the creator of the 30-Minute Startup, the Boost Business Launch Mastermind, 7-Day Business Launch Intensive, CAP Academy, and more. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these secrets. All right, so secret number 1 is to prioritize your needs. So when you are going through and thinking about your business, the first step you want to do is to set your intention, right? So you may know that you need to change. You may know that you feel bogged down, but you have to actually set that intention in your mind on what you want to happen. So in this case, when it comes to stealing time, your intention should be, I want to streamline my business so I spend less time on non-revenue generating activities. Every single person on this call right now, I want you to write that down and make sure that you post it like right in front of you on your desk, because that is your goal, okay? Now, step 2, when it comes to prioritizing your needs, is that you want to create a measurable goal. So Linda talked about it from a grand theme, kind of just taking the overall list and saying, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna delegate? What am I gonna dump? I want you to use those principles, but I want you to also tie in making it measurable. So when you go in and you're looking at that list, I want you to be intentional about saying, I got to get at least 50% of this stuff off of my plate, because my role in my business is to generate revenue. It's not to be a graphic designer unless it happens to be your service. It's not to, keep responding to random calls, answering FAQs. That is not your job. Those don't make you money. Focus on the tasks that are going to make you money. Step 3, when you're doing it, you're going to do similar to, what Linda described as far as creating a list of tasks that you're doing. I call them hats. A lot of entrepreneurs, we wear a ton of hats. We throw them on our head because when we start off, most people are starting off one man, one woman banding. We're doing it on our own. So we think we have to do everything on your own. I want you to switch your mindset when it comes to that. I want you to think about the things that you are personally doing to run your business and write every single one down. Okay. And then that can include things like the administrative work, social media posting, trying to build your own website, writing blogs, all of these things that are part of building your business when you're starting out, that you probably are taking on that you're not an expert at. I want you to just write everything down that you're doing. And that list will probably be pretty long, longer than you expect. All right. Next, you're going to go ahead and you're going to prioritize that list, but I want you to do it in a certain way. So first, I want you to prioritize it by importance to your business, right? So think about if you didn't do that thing, if that thing doesn't happen with your business, what happens? If your business is going to go down really quickly, that needs to be higher on your list. If you don't do it, like Linda was talking about, 3 social media posts versus 1, how much is that really going to impact your overall bottom line? Not hugely. So think about that. Then within that list, after you've prioritized by importance, I want you to prioritize it by the time, right? So the tasks, and then I want you to think about that. And all the tasks that are outside of your expertise, in an ideal situation, they're going to be into a hats off list. So that's equivalent to Linda's delegated list. All right, secret number 2 is understanding that systems are your friend. All right, so what I mean about that is that for all of those items that are on your list, things that you were doing, and you have your priorities, you have how much time each is taking, I want you to now turn around and figure out ways how you can automate some of those top tasks. There are tons of technologies out there for entrepreneurs. Lots of them have either free trials or certain free levels that you can get into. And then of course you have the paid ones, which can, tons of them have bells and whistles. Take a look. They can make a critical difference to your business and help you to save time. Think about your social media, for instance. That is one of the areas that Linda mentioned about taking a lot of time. There are definitely tools out there and people that can help you. We'll get into that in a second. All right, so for your critical tools, there are 4. So we talked about, looking at your overall list, but within that list, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to tell you the 4 that you absolutely need to put in place in order to save time so you can spend more time making money. First is your email marketing. You want a service that is going to allow you to do automated sequences. That's going to allow you to deliver your newsletters, your lead magnets, your transactional information very quickly. You set it up one time. It does take a while to set it up, but once you've set it, that process just goes. And that's a huge time saver for your business. So that's the first type of technology you want to have in place. Next, you want to make sure that you have a productivity management software that's going to help you to streamline your workflows. So for instance, say you are a coach or a consultant, somebody who's constantly bringing on new clients, new customers. If there's a certain process that each person has to go through, streamline it. There are software like Monday.com, 17 Hats, there's HubSpot, Zoho, lots of systems on there that allow you to streamline those processes. Which one is best? Depends on your business and what you're trying to do. So you will have to do some research to see which one really fits your needs, but understand that streamlining that workflow, especially for repetitive tasks that you would have to do for each client or customer, will save you a tremendous amount of time. Okay, so definitely invest in that. Next, we just talked about the social media posting a little bit. So there you have 2 options. There are services out there that you can do it yourself posting, but basically you can schedule ahead of time. You can schedule bulk posting. Lots of different options out there. One I like is called Meet Edgar. The reason I like that is because you can actually put in a bunch of social media content and then just set it and forget it. And even when you've scheduled and things have run out, that particular system will actually just start recycling the things that you've already put in there. So as long as you're strategic with what you put in there, making sure that the content you put in there is evergreen, meaning that it can run at any time and it will be useful. That's a really great way to capitalize on that tool. Make sure your social media is under control without you having to, think about constantly trying to post. And then another critical tool is Zapier. Now, depending on where you are in your business, you may not have a ton of different products and services that you're working with to make your business run. But as you move on, you will. Zapier is a great resource because I call it the great connector. Basically, it allows you to connect different services and make them talk to one another. So if there's a system, say, for instance, you're running Facebook ads. Well, Facebook, the way their ads run, if you're running lead ads, the leads appear on Facebook. And unless you go in and check them, you'll miss the lead. You'll have it, but you won't be able to respond to it in a timely manner. But if you set up what's called a Zap with Zapier, you can make it so every time that lead comes in, you get an email right in your inbox, and then boom, you can make something happen, whether it's you making that phone call, whether it's them going into your email automation system. It saves you time. And in that case, definitely can help to make you money because you're responding to a warm lead immediately. All right. Then you also want to think about using AI tools to multiply yourself. Okay. So like there's services out there called MiniChat. MiniChat is works with Facebook. So that's a way that, say, people are communicating with you on Facebook. You want them to message you. You're running a message campaign or just in general. You can set up a service like that to be able to respond to people. So even if you're not up at 4 a.m, they can still get a response to some of the questions that they're looking for. And you can use it for basic responses. You can use it for lead magnets. You can use it so many different ways. And then another tool for multiplying yourself, it's not AI, but it uses AI logic. It's called Video Ask, which allows you to create a video, kind of like we're talking right now. I could have a very short conversation, ask you a question, or and then you would have the ability to respond to me via video. So it gives the feel of a human interaction, but you're not actually having to have all these conversations. It's great for your FAQs. It's great for lead generation. So just really think about how you can automate things in your business. All right, secret number 3 is to value your time, literally and figuratively. All right, so Linda talked about this a little bit. And I have kind of a similar way to thinking about it. So for these, you've already taken care of the things that are, that you can automate, right? So those are off your list. But then there's still going to be certain things that kind of are not ideal for that. So things that aren't ideal for that is what you're going to use this next part for. And basically, you're going to decide how much your time is worth. So like Linda was talking about, if someone said they're going to pay you by the hour, whatever you say your time is worth for whatever expertise they're asking for, that's what your rate should be. So again, if your rate is $50, $100, $250, $1,000 an hour, if that's what you feel it's worth, then I want you to write that number down. Think about that. And don't undervalue yourself, because that is one of the biggest mistakes that new entrepreneurs make. All right. So write that number down. Then with that number, what you're going to do is you're going to do a cost analysis. I know it sounds like big words. Basically, you're going to multiply the value of your time by the number of hours that you said, because you wrote down on the list how much time you're spending on something, how much time you said it cost you. So here's an example. Say that you said your hourly rate is $100. Whatever you're doing is worth that when you are delivering your primary role or service to someone. But then let's say you're spending 5 hours writing blog posts a week. Well, if you do the math on that, that means that doing that task is costing you. It's costing you $500. Even though you may be doing it, it's literally costing you $500. So then you have to ask yourself, how much would it cost me to have someone else to write that? If it's going to cost less than $500, then that is a task that you need to be outsourcing. And what I want you to do is I want you to, for every single item that's left on your list that you haven't found automation for, go ahead and put it towards that. And if you're hemming and hawing about paying for a certain automation, keep this particular activity in mind, because then you'll realize that you do have the money because it's costing you. So if a system costs you $100 to do, and if hiring a person costs you $100, that only costs you $200. That means that you just saved yourself $300, because now you have the time to go and put into revenue generating activities to make money, which will make you at least that $500, because that's an hour's work, right? So if you work 2-3 hours, 5 hours, that's $2,500 that you're, potentially earning. All right, guys. So I have a question for you. So when you're thinking about all that, how confident are you that you can handle it on your own? How confident are you? If it's kind of giving you a headache, if it's a little overwhelming, kind of just trying to think about how do I figure out which systems do I use? How do I know which to prioritize? What's most important for my business starting out? Then I want you to think about the Business Boost Business Launch Mastermind. So this is one of my programs, and it is ideal for business startup. Okay. So if you were in your first year, if you haven't started a business yet, or if you're still early stage, within your first 5 years, then this would be a good support system for you. So with this mastermind, it is an 8-week video-based training series. It has bi-weekly group sessions. There's an online community for networking and support. Plus, I'm giving you 2 bonuses to help make sure that you get on the right foot. If you've already started, to get you better. If you haven't started, definitely just kick you off right, which is a course called Creating Google Loving Client Attracting Website Content. And then you also get a one-on-one marketing strategy with me. So those are 2 of your bonuses. Now, that is a $2,200 value right there, but I don't want you to worry about that right now. I want you to think about this. 20 to 25% of new businesses fail within the first year. That number spikes to 45% in the first 5 years. And most businesses that are new, they fail to make a profit within year 1. A lot of that has to do because, again, they're spending their time doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're not stealing time. And then also, top 5 reasons that businesses fail: they don't have a plan. A lot of people just kind of jump into the doing, or they create a plan, but they didn't create it with the right intentions in mind. Their plan doesn't fit what they actually are trying to do. They also don't have any marketing, or they don't have enough marketing. They're overspending, underpricing. And for some business owners, the problem is not forming your business correctly, your business entity. So I want you to think about that. Now, if you were to have someone who's been where you are to help you to set those things up right from the start, and that's what BBL does, do you think that you would significantly up your chances of beating the odds? Do you think that you could be part of the group that survives past year 1? Do you think that you would be part of the group that actually turns a profit in year 1? Do you think it would help you to stay in business 5 years from now? So think about that. So with the Business Boost Mastermind, the cost is just $797 today. That is a $1,400 savings. So when you're thinking about the cost of things and you're thinking about how you are spending your time, and you just did the exercise thinking about how doing things that are not ideal for your business or don't have the right intention set can impact you, I want you to think about if all Boost Business Launch did for you was to give you clarity on how to move forward with your business, meaning you're not spending time spinning your wheels trying to figure out which way should you go, who should you be focusing on, which social media platforms, which technologies, which marketing strategies to do. How would that help you? How much would that help you with your business? If it could show you how to build your products and service offerings so that you can actually earn more from each customer once you attract them, do you think that would help you? And then how much do you think it would be worth if you were to be able to streamline your business operations, again, just like we talked about today, so that you can do more with less, meaning spending less time and spending less money? Do you think that would be worth it? So I hope that you do think that it's worth it. I hope that you're really thinking about your business and thinking about what things are costing you. Think about whether or not you can make $797 for your business. If you think that you can make $797 for your business, then this program will help you to break even, most definitely. But if you understand that everything that you learn in this program can easily help you to 10x that investment, then you're really thinking like an entrepreneur and you're on your way. So I invite you guys to enroll in the next Boost Business Launch Mastermind. It's kicking off next week. So if you are interested, go ahead, be sure I'll try to grab that URL to drop in the in the chat for you guys. If not, be sure to reach out and, let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. I wanted to take a couple minutes and just open up the floor for questions, if you guys have any about what I talked about today or anything else.
Thanks, Tanisha. Do you want to take that screen share off so that we can see you? And does anybody have any questions? If you do, go ahead and raise your little digital hand. And if you're in the listening audience, if you want to go ahead and try, type your questions in the chat. We got lots of people in the listening lounge. But I have a question. You mentioned about clarity, and I want you to talk about the importance of clarity, having clarity in our business. I have my own perspective on it, and I'd love to hear your perspective about clarity. You're muted.
Absolutely. So what I find is a lot of times we as entrepreneurs, our minds are always going. We're thinking, oh my gosh, we could do this. Oh, wouldn't it be great if we could just go ahead and do this? And then what about, oh, this is awesome. We have all of these ideas about what could be, but sometimes it's hard to really settle down on what should be. And that's where having your intention in mind starts, right? So when it comes to your clients, a lot of people will say, oh my goodness, well, my service is perfect for everybody, so everybody's my client. But the reality is, though anybody might be able to be your client, when it comes to actually running your business, especially when it comes to your marketing and lead generation, you have to be very clear on who you're speaking to. How you speak to a mother who has small children for a program is very different from a woman who, yes, she's a mother, but she's not in that young child parenting stage, who has an adult children. Her pain points, her needs, how she looks at things, her experiences, everything is going to be different. And so being clear on who you want to market to is critical to being able to be successful with that. Being clear on what you want to offer to your customers is critical to that. Being clear on what their problem is, so you're selling something that they actually want and need and not just what you want to sell, is critical to your business being able to survive.
Awesome. Thank you. Totally in agreement with that. So that's awesome. I love to hear when other people have ideas. You and I, like you said, our talks could be interchangeable pretty much, but you added some really great nuances to that. One thing that you talked about was the automation, automating what we do. And so from your perspective, what would be the number one first thing you would automate? Because when I first started my business, I heard about automation and all these different things, and I didn't know where to start. I'm not going to be able to automate everything out of the gate. So what would be the number one that you would say, this is the thing that I believe saves me the most amount of time, because we're talking about time here, and helps me to generate the most amount of money? What would be that number one thing?
All right. So it depends on your business. If you are a product-based business, then I would say that your most critical automation needs to be your email marketing. And that's just because if you're selling a product, then you're constantly it's going to be the same information going out all the time. All right. If you are a service-based business, however, I would say that one of the critical things to set up is your processes, your back-end processes, how you actually work through onboarding your clients, because that is, again, a repetitive process. However, you want to spend time working with those people, not, okay, let me create this contract. Okay, now let me move it here and save it here. Now you want that as streamlined as possible, because that makes a better experience for you from the backside, managing it, but also from the front end to be able to give that customer kind of a checklist email, so they can just boom, 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 everything that you need. So that would be my recommendation.
Awesome. Thanks for that. I see we have Shanna has her hand up, but before she asks her question, you mentioned meetedgar.com. I've heard a lot about it. I haven't used it, but you said it recycles your post. didn't take time or ran out of time to post things, that it will automatically recycle some of your previous posts. So what I'd like you to touch on that is, I know that that oftentimes people say or think that we have to create new content constantly. So I want to hear your perspective on that.
Okay, so this is a very simple concept. If you go on Facebook right now and you just open up your feed, there are certain messages that you're going to see. But that was in one point in time, in 1 minute that you decide to go on Facebook. Now, the other 23 hours and 59 minutes of the day, you know what I'm saying? You missed all of that content, right? So we think because we see it, because we know, man, I just posted that like 16 times, you feel like, oh my gosh, they're going to have nothing to, they don't have anything else to, they think I have nothing else to say. But the reality is people don't see everything that you do, that you don't put out there. Marketing needs to be repetitive. Your content, whether it's brand awareness, whether you're selling something, you have to do a lot more than what you really think you need to do. It used to be, it was about 7 touches. People needed to see your information like 7 times in order to take action. With how much content is constantly bombarding people, that's up to like 15 to 21 times. So when it comes to your content, you want to create a core set of content that aligns with the pillar content, meaning the main categories, the main content, your main messaging for your business and things related to that. And you want to have a general kind of kit of that. You want to have a general kit of your main promotions, your main offers, and let those be your core content that in a system like the Meet Edgar or whatever you're using that is constantly recycling. And then in between that, you want to sprinkle in kind of the things that have to do with the timeliness of the year. So those are things that you create, that's kind of the ongoing creation, but that's not the bulk of your creation. So that'll take some of that pressure off of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And there was a question. Can you write here the link to the tool about recording your video? I think that was the video ask that you mentioned. And also, Tanisha, do you have any affiliate links for any of those that you mentioned? You're muted.
I do have affiliate links for those things, and I'm happy to share them. I'll have to grab them for you, but I'm happy to share them in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Or send them over to you.
Yeah, share those affiliate links. Yeah, go ahead and just share them in the chat there for everybody. And mentioning that is, affiliate links is a great way to generate revenue. But you're mentioning a product for somebody, and you might as well create affiliate links. The first thing that I do, for those of you who don't use affiliate links, the first thing I do when I use a product and I really like it, I go to their website and I just Google. I ask I go to Google, does so-and-so have an affiliate link? Because if so, then I sign up for their affiliate program. And my first year of affiliate stuff, like just sharing different products that I use all the time, I made $18,000 extra money just by sharing a link. I would have been sharing the website anyway, but instead I inserted my affiliate link. So let's see. Last question, Shanna, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the talk, Tanisha. My question was, when you are deciding how much your time is worth, like for me, because I have several different things that I do, one may be easier to calculate than the other. And I know that the hesitation I've had in the past is, if I'm not sure that I'm going to be fully booked with that amount of time, then why should I be spending it and delegating it to someone else? So how do you kind of maybe break through that little terror barrier in the beginning?
You stop overthinking it, because I guarantee you, like a lawyer, when they're deciding, oh, my hourly rate is $500 an hour, $350 an hour, whatever it is, they're not thinking about, oh, but this or that, or what if this happens? No, you think about it from that one thing. Even though you do multiple things, in your case, you would think about it for each business, right? You would say, okay, for this business, these are the tasks I'm doing. If somebody comes to me for a certain type of expertise, what is that expertise worth? Okay, what is it worth to them? What value am I giving them? And then the time that it's taking me to give it to them, well, not even the time that it's taking you to give it to them, but like, what do you value it at? So like, you know that the information that you have, it might have taken you 10 years to get the information and knowledge that you have. That's worth a lot. Now, are you going to be able to say because you spent 10 years that you should be able to charge 10,000? Well, kind of depends on your background, your experience, your proof, that you have behind you. You might not say that, but you might be able to say confidently, look, this is worth $150. If you sit with me for an hour, I'm going to give you all this information that's going to save you 20 hours. And really, that's saving you a ton. Think about if you spent 20 hours doing something on your job, how much did your job pay you for working 20 hours? So I would just encourage you, set your amount, be reasonable, think about your market. If there's others in your market that have a similar product or service, then use that as a measuring stick and fall within there. But also keep in mind that unless you're the lowest person in the market, it makes no sense to be the second lowest price person. So don't just go lowballing yourself.
Awesome. Thank you. Was that good, Shanna?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Tanisha, thanks for your presentation. That was fabulous. I really loved it. I got a lot of great notes from it. Yeah, please drop those links, those affiliate links, go get them and put them in there. Might as well make a little bit of money if people want to use those different, you mentioned so many different ones, Zapier, 17 Hats, Monday.com, Soho, Meet Edgar, Video Ask. I got a couple of them written down, but really great information. And this replay will be available for you all later. Tanisha, thanks so much. Appreciate you so much. And looking forward to stick around and to hear the rest of the speakers today.